any of the previous webinar, or is it the first time? Any previous webinar or workshop? Okay, I've joined previous workshop and some certification programs. Welcome back again, Aliu. I can see some of the participants are already familiar with the uh, team and the webinars we conduct. So it's good to see you back again. Anyone else who have joined with us previously, or is it the first time? Please feel free to introduce yourself. Okay, I can see that a couple more of participants have joined. So, for those of you who have just joined with us, we'll be starting with the session in about 2 to 3 more minutes. We are waiting for the rest of the participants to join. And meanwhile, we are waiting. It would be great if the participants can introduce yourself in the chat box. Please feel free to let us know where you're from, what is your background, and what motivated you to join this webinar. So we look forward to seeing your interactions. We'll wait for maybe 2 to 3 more minutes and then start. Okay, so we have an introduction from Mokshavi. She is present at on a maternity break, and the last job role was genome analyst, and is eager to learn more how to apply knowledge into various fields of work. Since I would like to start fresh. Thank you so much, Mokshavi, and we do hope the webinar will prove insightful for you. Jasmine is from California, USA, and has just graduated from Georgetown University with Masters in Bioinformatics and has joined the webinar in hopes of learning more about clinical genomics. Currently interning as a data scientist for the Veterans Department, working on machine learning pipelines for MRI, but would like to transition to genomics. Perfect. Welcome to the webinar, Jasmine, and we do hope the webinar will prove insightful. Rest of the participants as well, please feel free to introduce yourself in the chat box. And without further delay, I'll start with the session as we have participants started joining. So, hello everyone, a very warm greeting to one and all. I'm Shri Gauri, and I would like to welcome you all for today's webinar on career pathways in clinical genomics, skills, tools, and training opportunities. So, we are especially glad to be hosting this session once again, following multiple requests from participants who couldn't attend the live webinar that we conducted a few weeks back. So, we are happy to have you all join once again to engage in this discussion. And we often receive also questions from students and early career working professionals about what does a career in clinical genomics actually involve, what qualifications are required to work in this field, and also certain questions about our upcoming workshop on clinical genomics. So, to address these questions and more, today we are joined by two mentors, Dr. Anuj Pandey, Training and Development Specialist at Premas Life Sciences, who will be speaking about the growing relevance of clinical genomics in healthcare, its practical applications, and how our upcoming workshop is structured to align with these advancements. And later towards the session, we will also hear from Dr. Mohit Mazumdar, who is computational biologist and CEO of OmicsLogic, who will provide insights into the dry lab bioinformatic aspects. So I can see some of the participants have been with us through our previous webinars and workshops. But for those of you who are joining with us for the first time, welcome. And I would like to take a brief moment to introduce you to the team behind the webinar. We are India and US-based bioinformatics and data science company, and we've had the wonderful opportunity to collaborate and partner with esteemed universities and industries across the globe. And as a part of our mission, our team is working with regional and international research mentors that are helping refine the program logistics and adapting them to the needs of students and researchers around the world. And to meet the ever evolving demand of skilled bioinformaticians and data scientists, we have created innovative training and research offerings, including online courses, training programs and workshops, research internship and fellowships, research services for faculties, as well as a dedicated online degree program. And one of the OmicsLogic resource for learning are the coursework, which includes text and visual aids such as diagrams, infographics, and videos to simplify the complex concepts. And short tutorials and practical demonstrations are also provided for hands-on learning, while coding exercises help students to develop the technical skills. And all of these courses, they're fully automated and compiled into lessons in detail. But many times students might require also a video of a mentor that are going through these topics and explaining the concepts and doing the hands-on practicals. So for such students, we also have comprehensive training programs and workshops, which includes a combination of lecture videos, expert tutorials, and guided lessons. The training materials are designed to align with modern industry relevant curriculum so as to ensure that all the participants are able to gain the practical skills that are applicable in today's academic and professional settings. And of course, sometimes while learning online, we might get stuck. So to address this, we also have a dedicated team of teaching assistants and technical team to monitor your learning progress and assist you wherever required. Now, we also get interest from participants who are interested in doing research work. So, for this, we also conduct a mentor guided research program that offers participants an unparalleled opportunity, whether you're a student or a researcher or even a citizen scientist who want to get started with bioinformatics research to work independently on a research project. So, I would like to quickly walk you through a few examples of how students from the research program have leveraged the resources to achieve their academic goals. So, here we have a cohort of students from Systems Medicine graduate program who worked on machine learning projects using Python. Students also joined the program to present their research project and poster presentation competitions and win exciting cash prizes. Students also join to get a research publication that gives them this extra competitive edge over other students while applying for higher studies or in the job market. Faculties and researchers have also collaborated. And if you're someone with a knack for science and business, we also offer an entrepreneurship and business innovation track. So, this is just a quick introduction that we wanted to give you about the team and the various offerings that we provide. Now, I'll just quickly stop sharing and reshare my screen once again to take you to the OmicsLogic Learn platform that will provide you an introduction to the various coursework and learning opportunities that you can explore at the end of the webinar. So this is the OmicsLogic Learn portal. For those of you who have joined with us through a previous workshop, might already be familiar with the platform. But for those of you who are joining with us for the first time, I'm sharing the link in the chat box. So you can just click on this link and it will redirect you to this similar interface and you can click on login. And for those of you who are creating the account for the first time, just click on create an account option that you see here. And you can enter a few details such as your name, email ID, provide a password, and then you can log in. If you already have an existing social media handle such as Google, Facebook, Apple account, GitHub account, or even Twitter, you can just log in directly using any of these existing account as well. And for those of you who already have a prior account, just enter your old email ID, password, and you can directly log in. Okay, so now since I already have an account, I'll just proceed with logging in with my existing account. For those of you who are just signing up, it would be great if you can put a done or a yes in the chat box just to get an idea. Okay, so let me log in. So once you sign in, the very first interface that you see is this coursework library that we have. So here you can see different categories that you can explore based on your interest. There is bioinformatics, genomics, transcriptomics, machine learning. There are also coding related categories like Python, R, metagenomics, and also cheminformatics, single cell transcriptomics, epigenomics, Linux, and GitHub, and so on. You can also enter your key word that you're interested to explore more, such as transcriptomics, and it will show up the relevant coursework and the example projects that are available. Now, for those of you who are interested to explore the field of bioinformatics, there is a beginner-friendly course, Course 1 Introduction to Bioinformatics, and it is a very short course that introduces you to the field of bioinformatics, what is omics, how are they applied in the field of healthcare, and so on. So you can explore this course as well at your own pace. So this is just a quick introduction that I wanted to give you about the platform as well. Now, without further delay, I'll pass on the stage to the mentors to start with the session. Over to you, Dr. Anuj. You're on mute, Dr. Anuj.
Am I audible to everyone now?
Yes, sir, you're audible.
Hey, hi everyone. Thanks for joining this webinar with us. And thanks to Sri Gauri for taking us through the portal of OmicsLogic and giving us a lot of insights about the course or the data science course that OmicsLogic is offering. Without any further delay, I'll just go to the slide deck and then I'll start talking about why we have put together this workshop. Let me know if my slide deck is visible to everyone.
Yes, sir, we can see your screen.
Is it in full screen mode now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Okay, once again, thank you for joining the workshop. So the purpose of putting this kind of course is, as you have already seen, that the OmicsLogic is expert in the data science and the data analysis courses related to bioinformatics. And they are offering n number of courses related to the research questions or the industry requirement that you all are going to have or already are having currently. The reason we are putting together this course because as Primas Life Sciences, we are market leader in genomics, wet lab, and the instrumentation processes. As the topic itself says that career pathways in clinical genomics, we are going to talk about the skills, tools, and the training opportunities related to that. A brief summary about overall training and education for me as PhD in postdoctoral research from Department of Genetics, University of Delhi South Campus. The focus area is all about genetics, genomics, cell and molecular biology. Master degree from same campus in biotechnology. And then I already have 3.7 years of industry work experience after PhD and postdoc. So briefly, I have worked for an oncology focused startup with a clinical experience in a hospital setup. And the major projects that I have handled related to clinical genomics, project management, and research in oncology. Till now, 4 reviewed publication and the 2 patents has already been filed. And that's the email ID and the contact details. You can reach out to us. We will be launching a few more exciting courses soon, and we will be happy to see you there. Now, the social media announcement is all about putting up the course on the clinical genomics research, because most of the courses that you will see nowadays is either skewed towards the hands-on experience or skewed towards the data science course. The reason we have joined hands with OmicsLogic, considering their expertise with data science, that we want to train the participant with a gist of what is happening in the wet lab processes. And then whatever files are being generated after the wet lab processes, how will you take it forward for data analysis, and then briefly touching different aspects of the conventional guidelines like ACMG and all. And at the end of the course, we will be talking about the application and future of genomics. Whatever area that you are working on, the workshop is going to be helpful for you because we are going to transfer the knowledge that how will you think and plan about a clinical genomics experiment, what is required in the clinical genomics work process, and then taking it forward, what are the processes of different kind of data set analysis. A brief summary about Premas Life Sciences. The company was incepted in 2006 by a team of avid science enthusiasts and the experienced professional. It's a young, focused, dynamic organization endeavoring to introduce niche game changes technology in India for application across human health, agriculture, pharma, environment, and the forensic, and well as the energy science domain. Our mission is to bridge bring the cutting edge technology in the field of genomics and cell biology for the advancement of Indian research and clinical diagnostics. We are also going to different part of world now soon with our different division called Uncoded. And then our vision is to bring the gap between industry and academia for a holistic implementation of scientific research leading towards better health outcome. These are the company. We are the authorized channel partner for Illumina in India. Apart from that, we also deal with Twist, BioNano, Chapter DX, Covaris, Oriva, Cytec, Bruker, Olink, and the Sphere Bio. What we are trying to bring all this technology so that we can support the clinical domain, R&D domain across different universities, organizations, hospitals, CROs, everything. Then what we believe at Premas Life Sciences, the two development of skill come from proper training, where practical application turns theoretical knowledge into real world expertise. And that's the reason of putting this workshop together with OmicsLogic. When I will talk about the hands-on online workshop, what we are going to start from 14th of July, that the first lecture, you all have seen the brochure. So I'm not going to go into the detail of what you are going to learn in that kind of the kind of workshop that we are going to run from Monday onwards. Obviously, we'll start with the very basic concept of the central dogma, taking it forward to the clinical genomics overview. What are the different techniques of performing clinical genomics, understanding the timelines, and the application of key genomic advancement. On July 16 and 18, we will be talking about the NGS workflow, where you all will learn about different NGS application. You will read a lot of papers about WGS, WES, or targeted panel-based sequencing. What are the key differences between long read and short read sequencing? How you perform the sample QC, because there are different kind of samples that you will be going to work for the research products or for the clinical side, wherever you find yourself after few years or you are doing yourself right now. And then we will dive deep into the sequencing chemistry, library preparation, and the test selection. On July 21, that is day 4 of the course, you will understand how the generated FASTQ file, and how will you generate FASTQ file by performing the library preparation and sequencing, which we would have already covered on July 16 and 18. And then you will learn about all the nuances, all the tools of data analysis, what it goes, what are the currently available tools, how you pursue the data processing aspect using different kind of tools. Day 5, which is on July 23, will be the data interpretation, where you will understand how to interpret the data. We'll briefly talk about the ACMG guidelines as well, and then we'll also discuss the ethical, legal, and social aspects along with the role of genetic counselor. And on the last day, which is application and future of genomics, we will be understanding the case studies related to rarest diseases, cancer, pharmacogenomics, and discover what are the recent trends in the genomics and how genomics is playing a key role in the precision medicine domain. Now, Before I move further, you all know that Illumina is a market leader in the sequencing technology, and they have a range of sequencer, which is a start from a low throughput going to the high throughput sequencer. And the reason why we are discussing it right now, because I just want to give you a glimpse of what we are going to talk in the workshop that is going to start from Monday. So now you know that you have a range of sequencer and you can do practically everything. Starting with the small genome sequencing, you can go to the targeted genome sequencing. Then you can do the whole exome sequencing. You can do the transcriptome sequencing. You can talk about large whole genome sequencing, including the human genome. And practically you will be able to do DNA, RNA, epigenetics, and the protein related work as well. Then any sequencing protocol, be it whatever you are doing, WGS, WES, or targeted panel sequencing, will always start with the extraction process. Now, whatever extraction process, the samples that you have, be it the blood sample, FFPE tissue sample, flash frozen, or cell-free DNA, you need to isolate the nucleic acid, be it the DNA and RNA. Then you go in the process of library preparation, where you take the template, which is DNA and RNA. You do the fragmentation of that. Then you add the adapters and indexes to that, and that become your sequencing library. You perform the sequencing on one of the sequencer, which I've mentioned in the previous slide, and then finally you generate a FASTQ file. That's where OmicsLogic expertise will come into the picture, where they will take this FASTQ file, process it through the different pipelines that they have, and finally we'll get the VCF file. And then on the day 5, we'll understand how to analyze these VCF files with respect to the primary, secondary, and tertiary analysis process of the entire bioinformatics course. Now, as I mentioned that anything which is start with sample, so you prepare the sample, you go for a library preparation, then you go for a sequencing approach, and finally you get the data, which is you analyze at the end of day. And then when you go into the clinical reporting aspect, you apply certain guidelines, and one of the very well-known guidelines is ACMG on that. So we'll also talk briefly on that front, but just to give you an overview that this is how a clinical genomics experiment is being planned, which is all about starting with a sample, going to the analysis, and finally release the report. And this is equally applicable when you work in a R&D domain. Now, just to give you a brief idea, when you talk about whole genome sequencing, and this is the first lecture which I'm going to talk on July 16, when you talk about whole genome sequencing, generally you cover the entire genome at a 30x coverage. So I'll talk about what is coverage, what is depth, and what you get at the end of doing this kind of sequencing. You will be able to cover the non-coding along with the coding reason, as well as you will be focused on the structural variant regulatory reasons as well. When you talk about whole exome sequencing, which is just around 1% of genome that encodes protein, and then typical coverage is basically 50 to 100x, and you will be get deeper insights into the protein coding genes and the variant associated with that. Now, most of the clinical application, which is based on the targeted genome DNA sequencing, you all have heard about the term called panel-based sequencing and all. Everything is same here. You go to the deeper aspect of sequencing coverage, which is more than 500x, and you already know what are the genes that you want to sequence. So the region of interest is already known, and it will decrease the cost per sample. Also, it will increase the turnaround time. So that's where you talk about precision and personalized medicine treatment options. Now, what you're going to learn next is based on the species. For example, human, right? So there is a DNA, RNA part. DNA could be targeted. DNA could be the whole genome sequencing. You can perform the resequencing. You can go for a de novo sequencing approaches. In targeted, you can go for the exome, panel-based, amplicon-based. You can do a mitochondrial sequencing. You can do metagenomics-based sequencing. In regulation, you always talk about protein, RNA, and DNA. You can always, and there are different sequencing approaches where you will be understand the RNA binding, transcription factor binding, you can do the methylation studies with respect to epigenetics mode of to understand the epigenetic mode of regulation. And then in RNA, you can always focus on mRNA, small RNAs, or miRNAs. All of this I'm going to talk in the lectures that I'm going to deliver based on the NGS workflow part 1, part 2, as well as the last lecture. I'll be available for all the lectures to sort out all the queries for you wherever you have certain questions related to wet lab processes, or you can post your question. I'll take up those questions in the next lecture and I'll try to address all of them. Now, when you talk about the key career path in clinical genomics, I know that all of you are looking for the job aspects, or some of you are looking into the better career prospects, job switching and all. So when you do certain kind of courses related to clinical genomics, you can look for a clinical lab manager post. You can look for a research scientist when you work in a R&D domain. You can look for a genetic counselor courses. There are certain number of courses based on the American guidelines, as well as in India, there is something called PGCI. You can develop your expertise by doing the courses what OmicsLogic is offering. The clinical bioinformatics specialist course, you can look for a genomics lab technician or lab in charge role, where you will be the in charge of doing the sequencing application. I mean, isolation of nucleic acid, preparing the library, sequencing it, getting up to the FASTQ file, handing over the data to a bioinformatics where they will start processing from the FASTQ file. Or you can translate the scientific ideas into clinical application. What you are doing there, you are just trying to bridge the gap between discovery and patient care. Or you can switch the role to the business development associate, where you can look for different aspects of business development to work for a multinational companies, where you can grow in a career related to, you start with a field application scientist, field service engineer, you can go to the business development manager role, national manager role, and then the path is always clear for all of you. And then when I talk about genomics in India, there are a lot many institutions and capability building is under process. There are government organization, private genomics lab, clinical research organization, as well as private hospitals. Now, every single organization is trying to implement genomics in their portfolio, and that's where the job opportunity is going to be created. And Dr. Mohit is going to talk on that aspect, that how the genomics industry is going to change after a few years, what kind of growth, what kind of job role he's going to talk on those fronts as well. Briefly, what we have done together, that we have conducted a lot of hands-on training. For example, the bacterial whole genome sequencing, or HLA type, as a part of our collaboration with IIT Jodhpur. And now you can get a sense that we are able to do both the hands-on experience as well as the bioinformatics data analysis processes. And then this is just a glimpse of few of the workshops that we have conducted, and Sri Gauri has already shown this in the initiation of this talk. And then this we have recently finished during 18th and 23rd of April this year. And for any queries, please feel free to reach out to us, as well as to OmicsLogic. We will be happy to sort out your queries. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir, for the insightful talk. And
Thank you.
now I'd like to invite Dr. Mohit Mazumdar, who's going to talk about the dry lab aspects for the workshop. Over to you, sir.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you so much, Sri Gauri. Let me share my presentation with you all. And it's great to see you all here. And please feel free to let us know about what you're doing and what you're expecting, what you're planning, so that we can maybe comment and help you with those decisions as experts. So, wait. Shrigari, let me know when my screen is available.
Okay, sir. Yes, sir. We can see your slides.
Okay. It's not moving. Let me just reshare
Okay, sir.
again.
Meanwhile, we are waiting. If the participants have any questions based on the talk that we have done so far, please feel free to post them in the chat box. Towards the end of the session, we can take them up and have like a Q&A and address your questions. Yes, sir. Now we can see the full screen version.
Okay. All right. So as we have been talking and we already seen the OmicsLogic website, I just wanted to have a quick introduction about the team behind team behind OmicsLogic, and before that Pine Biotech. So the company, we started with a core mission to enhance basically human health and well-being by enabling biological research and discovery through data science training. So in OmicsLogic, you'll find embedded data-driven concepts into biological projects, and the learning journey is also being something that we have been showcasing, from courses to training to research project. And this has been all created with the help of Dr. Alfred Tauber and Dr. Leonard Brodsky, and then it has been passed on to us to be able to take this forward. And we have been doing this with a team of ourselves here in India. We started in 2019 in India and been working with several universities and partners, some of the reputed partners as Premas Life Sciences, IT Jodhpur, and henceforth. So that is what we have been able to do with the different platforms that I'm going to showcase and discuss with you today. But before that, just a little bit of the glimpse that why you should do this, and if you're already doing it, and like why it is a good thing that you are now getting to learn about or getting invested in clinical genomics. So the clinical genomics market is massive for this very important reason that it is related to human health and basically addressing the translational aspect of science. So, the clinical genomic market is currently booming with a market value of 1.25 billion by 2025. And then the market is expected to grow with a rate of um, 17 or 18%, almost 17.54 to be precise. That is what you can see on the presentation. So, this is mainly due to the technologies that have come up recently and have been at the forefront, which includes the next generation sequencing technology as well as the integration of AI in genomics data. That has also been playing a very key role with Alpha Genome coming up by Google, and other tools that are available, and now translating the with the help of large language models. It has become more and more accessible and easy for us to get into this field. So again, the focus is personalized medicine, and I was recently seeing that what this personalized medicine could do, and with the help of integration of other type of clinical data with the omics data, the insights are something that were not been able to get before. Comparing two geographies, because we have a US based office where the students from US, Europe, and other international countries are joining the programs. We also have an India office where we are collaborating and working with other institutes in across India. So the US clinical genomics science field has an average salary of like 16,000, uh, more than around 16,000 to like 10 to $16,000 per month. And the top earners can go more than that. The US clinical research field is projected to grow at 6% for till 2028, and then the clinical research sector is expected to grow over 8% in India comparatively. So because the clinical research field is already being established, and a prominent hospitals, and you'll see so many times news coming up about different type of therapies that are now available and have been successfully achieved. So the growth is now clearly much higher in some of these developing countries, including India and other countries where there is a uh, lot of new companies have come up using clinical genomics reporting, and next generation sequencing companies are there which are providing the services to these clinical companies, and together they are providing the diagnostic report to the clinician to be able to help with the challenges about with the diagnosis. So similarly, like both the areas, both the opportunities are there. A comparison is something that is for different type of people who think about different type of opportunities that are there. But yeah, I mean the comparison is basically about different type of roles that are there. But yeah, the saturation and expertise are more defined in the US compared to India. So the expectations are also higher in that sense. So comparing and then tailoring pathways is something that we have been working on, and that's where we want to integrate all of it together so that it should make sense. Rather than doing only a data science course, we are doing a combination of wet lab technologies plus the dry lab technologies, so that it's an end-to-end pipeline. You learn from very basics that will give you an idea, and you will be able to visualize that from how samples, like basically it becomes data, and from data how it becomes structured data and information, and from information how we derive strategies and find solutions. So it's a complete pipeline. But to be able to from learning point of view, I think it's good to be able to get it from that perspective of very beginning to the very end, not the very end because the research is endless kind of in this sense. But yes, what are the outcomes that we are seeing right now in modern research? We have been implementing different tools and technologies that would help you understand also the same thing. So similarly, like as I was saying, that global genomics opportunities are very high in this area right now. For early career professionals, incredible opportunities are there. And then the interest, if you're interested and you have been interested in bioinformatics or molecular biology or genetic engineering or any related discipline, I think all of this is coming together in this field. And if you include this information within your expertise, you will have a large number of opportunities that will be available for you. So at a genomic global genomic landscape, there are a lot of people who are already working on it. So there are a lot of new jobs that are being created, and a lot of funding again is available. There are major hubs, but now genomics is becoming a routine tool, and that's why it is become such an important field. And there will be so many opportunities because every laboratory, every hospital will use this as a primary diagnostic tool for sure in some years, or it's already been in place in many hospitals. But the as the cost is getting reduced with the new technologies that you will learn about from Anuj about the new Illumina technologies and the advancements that has led to conducting these experiments at room temperature, the samples now, and all of those facilities are now available for you to even think about entrepreneurship tracks after this. So there are leading companies that we have seen doing this very well and are growing rapidly in terms of their original start to till to date with the revenues that they're getting. Similarly, in India, the same thing has started, and it's a great time basically to be able to invest in this field and develop something that could grow into something much bigger. So many flagship startups are there. It's just like a few of them are I've put together here, but there are hundreds of startups that have come up and doing so many things across. And many of you might be working on many of these in these startups. So some of the investments are massive that are coming in cities like Hyderabad and Bangalore, as well as cities like Gurgaon and other places across India. Now, the pipeline that we've been talking about, the key highlights are specialized genomic curriculum that we are like kind of working with to be able to put it at a grassroots level. We also are working at high school level. So I think it is important for everyone to understand the importance of educational initiatives that would refer, and this is one of which that is there to do a very specific skill development. And for that, I think there are a lot of investment also that is coming in by the government and initiatives that are there. So the bioinformatics skills from this entire, opportunities that we need to develop are something that we are going to work on to start with, basically in this workshop. But this workshop is just the beginning, because we have like as Anuj was telling you, that we have a lot of other things that are very niche and kind of skills that are very critical are planned. So we have after this another workshop coming in, which would be a 1 day workshop, few hours to learn about the integration of uh, genomic data with other tools for visualizations, publication ready visualizations. That would be in August or something like that. And then with in we'll be going to announce other opportunities as well. But together with Anuj and our team here, we also are working on different type of projects. So if you think that you can enhance your skills by practicing more over the next 2-3 months, those kind of opportunities will be available after the workshop. So as I was discussing about the different aspects of genomics data and uh, its data deluge to data from data to treatment, we have the NGS workflow very much defined and made very in a very easy mode that anyone can learn from. So we have created visualizations, and today I'm going to give you a demonstration about it, that how different type of file formats that you will see. These are the different type of file formats, from raw read, you'll convert it to the BAM file, and then you'll use SAM tools, and then you will convert it to the VCF file, which you will further analyze. So this all will be shown to you in a very easy manner, so that anyone can learn basically the entire workflow and understand how data flows from one algorithm to another, one step to other, and why we are using these algorithms and what they are providing us. To do this, I mean, we have not only just this workshop, but with this workshop, a course will be available which describes this all in much detail. That will be for 1 month. You can do this course after the workshop, so you will be able to learn and also review the recordings and like do it over a 1 month time at your own pace. So in that, you will be able to see that we will be using Python also, some of it, or R for sure. We have a lot of R code, so there is a R basic things that will be covered through the courses that are already available. Once you register, you will be having the access to the courses and all, and you'll be able to understand that. So after the course and all, you'll be able to understand that how this is done very much comfortable, to be able to work on either a research proposal that is developed by you or by expert, and that could be a project work that is there. So let's have a quick demonstration of what we will be doing in the sessions. First, I will show you some visualizations that are there, that will be able to help you understand that why I'm saying that it is going to be easy to learn, and then get comfortable, and then go to advanced levels to do different things. But initially, we will make sure that everything is something that anyone can do without a background also. So in this workshop, we will, as I said, that all of this that we are doing from the very basic of R code to the very basics of DNA to understanding the wet lab technologies a little bit about, and then going into the different type of analysis is there. And then there are R codes for different type of analysis that you can do. So this will be additional content along with the workshop sessions that are being done. So here we will use also uh, open source tools that are available. We have listed them out. You can learn about open source tools like Galaxy and bash based, scripting based tools. And then there is also a visual platform that will make things, comfortable for everyone to learn how genomics pipeline basically works. So this is the T-Info platform that was developed by the Tauber Research Center. And here we have like a repository of like over 300 plus algorithms for different type of research purposes, put together in an amazing way. So in here we also have developed some of the examples for anyone to learn from. So we will be taking and going through some of these examples in the session itself when we start, where we will be building this type of pipeline and analyzing the results. So it's an AI guided pipeline where you can see that the mutate 2 type algorithms we will be using for somatic variant calling. But before that, from raw data, we will get the structured data, we will clean it up though, so from FASTQ file to SAMBAM files, and then doing the conversion and then mapping it to the chromosome, the assembly reference genome, and then doing the variant calling using mutic. And then there are other steps that are used for different type of research. But yeah, we will not be using all of the algorithms, but one of the paths we will be using that we will show for TP53 gene, and we'll be working on that so that every one of you can kind of do this along with the mentor and learn that which tools and algorithms are being used, how the data is transitioning from one tool to another, and what is the outcome. So the VCF file, and then going to the JBrowse and looking at the chromosome, and then tracking the exact mutation, finding that mutation. And all of this is also, like as I was telling you, mentioned here. So anything that you miss or want to repeat to learn, you're not sure, you need more type of, more repetition and more hands-on. So all of this will be available for you for 1 month to be able to learn this in a way that stays with you, and you can do more about it in the future, in the coming months, and like that. So that's the plan. We have the pipelines and everything ready. So we'll be looking forward for the sessions to start next week. If you have not registered, so please complete your registrations, and we'll be glad to see you starting next week. So with that, I would look into the questions and would be happy to address or answer any questions. And I'll pass it to Shri Gauri.
Thank you so much, sir, for the wonderful overview of the workshop as well. I'll quickly share my screen. As you can see, there are a couple of questions from the participants about recording and also the schedule of the workshop. So let me share my screen once.
Ma'am, can I ask a question to sir?
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, so actually, I have completed BSc Life Sciences honors from Presidency University in Kolkata, and now I have cleared GADI, and through it I have taken admission in Central University of South Bihar in MSc Biotechnology, and I wish to be a genetic counselor. So can you please guide me what are the courses and what is the guidelines I can go through to get offer letter as a genetic counselor from BCGI?
Anuj, you're muted.
Yeah,
But
thanks,
this
Maulik.
is
Sorry
a
for
good
that.
question for
Yeah.
Anuj, yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Asmita, for the question. I believe you are in the final year of your master program.
No, sir. This year I've completed my graduation, and this year itself I have gotten admitted to. I'll
Okay,
start my MSc journey here.
perfect. So in India, you can go to
Um,
the BGCI website. It's based out in Hyderabad, if I remember correctly. And then you can look for, there are different version, like in label 1 and label 2, and that is available after finishing your masters. And then you can practice with known clinicians or under a genetic counselor, where you will understand the various nuances of how the genetic counseling is being performed. And then once you get the certification and all, you can apply for the jobs to different clinical setup or the companies who are doing this diagnostics clinical reporting kind of genomics work. So that's the path. But yeah, but to
do
start
I
with, yeah, may I
do I
finish
have
first?
to pursue? Yeah, sure, sir.
Yeah, so but to start with, if you have really interest into the genetic counseling part, you should start reading and understanding about all the ACMG guidelines, be it related to the 28 attributes, the 2015 paper, what is happening into the somatic oncology testing, what are the rare disease variant guidelines, what is happening in the newborn screening domain. Read as much as you can on those guidelines, try to understand the different criteria. And then after finishing your master's, join the certification program. And then after finishing the program, you can look for the internship opportunity under a genetic counselor or a clinicians, and then definitely your career will grow from there.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope that answers your question, Asmita. If anyone else have any questions, please feel free to post them in the chat box. We'll take up the Q&A in just a couple of minutes. So, yes, so regarding the workshop that we were discussing during the session just a while ago, so this is the hands-on online workshop, clinical genomic research. So there were some questions if it is going to be remote or on-site. So it's going to be completely online, hands-on workshop, and it is going to be for a period of 6 days. So there is a detailed flyer in case the participants have not received it or missed in their email inbox or is registering for the first time. We will be sharing it via email just after this webinar is over. So just keep an eye on for your email inbox. It has all the details, right from what are the various resources available during the workshop, when the sessions will be conducted, and what are the various topics that are covered, and so on. So most of the resources that we covered during the workshop were covered by Dr. Mohit, such as, just to summarize all of these, the sessions will be conducted on an alternate day basis, that is Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. The sessions will be starting upcoming Monday, so please make sure that you enroll before the deadline passes. And we'll be also supplementing your learning experience with recorded lectures. There were also queries about the recording will be available. So all the recordings, all the 6 days of the workshop will be recorded and made available on the OmicsLogic Learn platform. So if you're not able to attend a particular session, or you would like to go back and revisit any of the topics that were covered during the session, you can do so. And the session will be also populated with the supplementary reading materials like any associated lessons, if there are any Google Colab notebooks used for coding purposes, if there are any R scripts shared, or if there are any specific data set that the mentor is making use of during the session, all of that will be also available on the platform. So all of these details are added in the flyer, and you can also have a quick look at the various topics that will be covered throughout the workshop sessions. We'll be covering the dry lab, wet lab, and the dry lab aspects as well. So now for those of you who are interested to enroll, this is the workshop page. I'm sharing the link in the chat box. Just make sure that you are logged into your account before accessing this link. And just once you visit the link, just scroll down below. And you can also see a syllabus interactive session. So this is the page where all the resources throughout the workshop will be made available. That is the lecture recordings, associated lessons, link to data set, if there are any softwares to be installed, R script or Google Colab, all of these will be made available here. And you can also have a look at the topics that are covered in the workshop through these session visuals that we have added here. And once you scroll down, you can see the option to enroll, that is buy now. So here you can also change the currency based on your location, that is USD or INR based on your location. And you can just click on buy now. And this will redirect you to the main checkout page for this workshop. So here for the webinar attendees, there is an exclusive discount code that you can apply. We'll share it in the chat box. It is discount CLN. Thank you, Shubhangna, for sharing. So once you're on this checkout page, just enter the code CLN, apply it, and you get a 35% discount before Sunday if you're enrolling. Once Sunday is over, we'll be increasing the prices. So in case you're interested, please feel free to explore the workshop page and apply the code. So we'll be happy to take up any other questions that participants might have. I'll quickly open the chat box. Okay, Hasnain is asking how can we get the certificate? So at the end of the workshop, the certificate, if it is about the workshop, the certificate will be issued at the end of each of the sessions. And for the webinar, since it is an informative discussion webinar, there is no certificate. So there is a question from Niveda. What is the next stage of career for a person involved in biocuration or scientific curation with 7 years of experience?
Okay, Mohit, would you like to take that question?
Okay, sorry, I was muted.
No, this, yeah.
So, either in curation, I think basically either it could be senior biocurator or a lead curator. It could be scientific project manager, and I think if you can go for a, am I audible?
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you are. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, so I was saying that if you are a person who is okay with taking new challenges, to I would really recommend to you to do a project management course, so in that could make you a scientific project manager, and their knowledge of scientific data sets and databases is also going to be important, like CleanVar and Cosmic, something that we are going to cover in this workshop. And then curator in curation, there is also like product based understanding that you have developed. So anything related to product owner, product lead, something, all those things are possible. So I think, yeah, and scientific editor and communication is something that is again a possibility, because being a curator, a lot of knowledge you have gained for sure.
Yeah. And just to add on to that, you already have knowledge of all those databases which is being used for the curation of variant and all, right. So you can always look in developing your capability with respect to the entire bioinformatics pipeline. And it is easy to learn what OmicsLogic has just created a lot of courses for people like you. Join those courses, do some relevant stuff with respect to project management and all, and look for the higher position in your own domain, that you will be the better person who can understand the variant prioritization and curation related to that. But apart from that, you can always grow your expertise with respect to data science aspect, that what else you can do with the AI integration part and all everything. And then you can develop your own pipeline as well, or you can help out companies who is looking for developing their pipelines. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. There is a question from Nilufar. Are there any recent updates for hands-on practice in whole genome sequencing in lab?
If you're based out in India, soon will, as we mentioned during our talk, that will soon come out with more exciting updates. So just hold on for some time. But meanwhile, if you want to get a sense of what goes inside the WGS library preparation and all, and how you kind of go ahead with the data analysis part, you are welcome to join the course.
Thank you so much, sir. Are there any other questions? I'm just resharing the link to the workshop page in case anyone has missed it.
So there is one more question from Lakshmi, that what are the prerequisites to join the workshop? So hi Lakshmi, as if you have the interest in doing the course related to bioinformatics, or if you're looking for a hands-on training in the wet lab aspect, then come with the interest that what you would you like to pursue in your future, and then a basic scientific background from the biological sciences as well, like DNA, RNA application, the processes of DNA replication and all. And I believe you already have those knowledge in your bag, that you will come out with those knowledge, and we will be happy to train you. So no specific training as such. Just keep your mind open whenever if you're joining the workshop, we'll train you with everything.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions? Let me scroll back up to check the chat if there are any other questions. Okay, there are no other questions.
Okay.
I think that
Okay.
will be all. Should
Yeah,
we
there is-
expect some data to explore?
No, once you join, you will have access to the course library. So we expect you to go through the coursework so that you're well versed. That is something that you can do ahead of time. And data repositories, yes, I mean, NCBI has a lot of data repositories, but that is also something that we are going to discuss in the session. And afterwards, you can review those data repositories and data sets.
Yeah, and Ayu, please don't look at the course as only the bioinformatics or wet lab training program. What we are going to do, we are also empowering you to think, right? You can be a bioinformatics person, you can be a hands-on experienced person, but you should understand what is going behind the clinical genomics and how you reach to your R&D projects, or you get to the clinical reporting part. So that's the purpose of putting this workshop together.
Thank you, sir. So Devnath is asking, are you going to show any kind of data analysis, amplicon, or whole genome sequencing?
Yeah, so I was showing the demonstration of the platform for the same thing, that is the whole genome sequencing for variant calling pipeline for somatic variant.
Any other questions before we wind up the session?
Even after this webinar, you can reach out to the team. We will be happy to answer the question, and we would love to train you in the workshop starting from Monday.
Yes, sir. I've shared the email ID in the chat box. If you have any lingering questions that could not be taken up during the session, please feel free to email us and we'll be happy to get in touch. So once again, thank you so much, Dr. Anuj and Dr. Mohit, for taking the time and joining the session for the talk.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
team.
We look forward to seeing all the participants in the workshop. Thank you so much and have a great day.
Yeah. Thank you, team. Thanks to everyone for joining this webinar, and see you in the course.
Thank you,
Thank you
sir.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.